Any questions from security? Everyone cleared about security guys creating logins, Windows login, SQL login? Is that clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have one doubt, sir.
Yes, please.
Authentication user or authorization, sir, both are same or any
See,
difference, sir?
authentication and authorization, a slight difference is there. Okay, so authentication means, okay, for example, you are using Gmail. Okay, imagine you are using Gmail. Authorization, okay, and authentication. Okay, so login principle, securable. Okay, so let's understand these words, guys. It's very simple. Sometimes we are going to, okay, hear these words and all. Okay, so authorization, authentication. So authorization means what? Having access on some resources is called authorization. Okay, authorization means having access on some resources is called authorization. Authentication means using, okay, accessing the resources using credentials. Okay, so what is the difference? I'll tell you. So for example, if you go to any this one, okay, any shopping mall and all, if you go to any shopping mall and all, okay, there you can see lot of shopping malls. In the shopping malls, lot of shops you can see, lot of outlets you can see. Okay, so you can also see maintenance rooms like powerhouse and all, power rooms and all. So can you enter inside that power room? No, right? Or if you go to any company, okay, there you can see server rooms and all. Everyone can go inside the server rooms. Yes, yes, sir. No,
No, sir.
No.
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 Okay,
No,
so
sir.
no one can enter. So you can see on the door authorized entry only. Authorized entry means what? Only authorized people can enter into the machine. I mean, sorry, only authorized people can enter into that particular room. Not everyone, right? So if you are having access on that room, that is called authorization. Authentication means, okay, you have access on that room. Now how you are going to enter into that room? Either you will swipe your ID card, or either you will give your thumb impression biometric, either you are going to give a pin, or either you are going to give a password, right? Agree? See, for example, if you go to the bank, we will have this in the bank. We will have this, what we can say, locker rooms. Locker rooms. Everyone is not authorized to go inside the locker rooms, right? So what you have to do? You have to take the permissions. In case if you are authorized person to access the locker room, okay, you have to take the permission. You have to make an entry in to enter into the locker rooms. Then they will allow you to enter into the locker rooms. That is called authorization. Having access on resources is called authorization. Okay, how you are entering into that locker room? Either by you opening the key or some pin or some password. Process of verifying the username and password is called authentication. Okay, authentication means what? How you are accessing that resource. Resource means a server room, resource means a server, resource means anything that you are accessing. Imagine you have a Gmail account. I don't have Gmail account. As you have Gmail account, you are authorized person to use Gmail account. I don't have Gmail account, so I am not authorized person to use Gmail account. You have Gmail account, that is called authorization. You have authorization on some resources. The resource is Gmail account. How you are going to enter into the Gmail account? How you will give how you are going to access the Gmail account? By giving
By
username and
using
password, right?
By using, yes.
Process of verifying the username and password, then it is going to authenticate you, Jalla Srinivas, okay, is giving proper credentials or not, okay, proper user ID or email ID, proper password, okay, it is going to verify that a person, Jalla Srinivas, is using his credentials or not properly. If you give wrong email ID or if you give wrong password, it won't allow you to enter into the Gmail. For me, I don't have account. Okay, as I don't have account, I'm not authorized person. Still, if I'm trying with the random email IDs and all, it won't work for me. So it is going to verify whether the person is like giving proper credentials or not, whether the person, whatever person, I mean like who is having access, whether he is giving proper credentials or not. The process of verifying username and password is called authentication. Okay, so the process of verifying username and password. If you see, we have two types of authentications, right? One is Windows authentication and SQL authentication. Authentication means what? Process of verifying username and password is called authentication. Okay, so either you are going to give biometric or you are going to give, sometimes if you go to very secured rooms, you have to give retina scan. Okay, then only it will allow. Like your phone. Your phone is the best example. Your face, what is that? Face lock. Okay, using face lock, you are going to unlock your phone. Okay, so you are using your face lock, you have to open your eyes. That process is called authentication. You are authorized to use your phone, but how you are opening the phone? Either biometric or pin or face lock or pattern, anything you can use, that is called authentication. If you give pattern, it will match with the existing pattern, okay, in the database. Okay, both patterns are matching, then it will allow you. If you give pin, it will verify with the existing pin in the mobile. Okay, pin, both pins are matching, then it will allow you. The process of verifying is called authentication. What is this principal and securable? Okay, so here, if I want to give best example, principal means the person who is accessing the resources is called principal. Okay, which resources he is accessing? Is called securable. Now tell me guys, in your mobile phone example, who is principal, who is securable? Your mobile phone example, who is principal and who is securable? Your smartphone you're using, you're all using smartphones, right? Who is principal and who is securable? Just implement the same concept. Who is accessing the resource is called principal, right? Who is accessing, who is going to access the mobile phone? User, you are the principal,
User I am.
right? Then what is securable?
On.
What is securable? Phone is securable, that's it. What is there to think? You are using your principal, who is using the resource is called a principal. Which resource he is using? He is using mobile phone. Mobile phone is the securable. Implement the same concept to the SQL server, guys. Apply the same concept to the SQL server. Can anyone tell me who is principal and who is securable in the SQL server? Apply the same concept. Same concept. Who is accessing is called a principal. What resources he is accessing is called securable. Apply the same concept in the SQL server. Tell me examples for principal and examples for securables. Nothing is there. Very simple. Just apply this.
Logins are
Uh,
logins are principals
correct.
and tables database are the
Correct.
securables.
Excellent. Super. 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 Okay. So logins. Who is accessing your SQL server, guys? You are accessing your SQL server, but in what way you're accessing? Using logins, right? So logins are principals. What you're accessing? I'm accessing server. Server is a securable. I'm accessing database. Database is a securable. I'm accessing tables. Tables is a securables. Got it, guys? Principal and secureable. And user. Okay, once you create the login, once you give access on any database, it will create a user. Okay, so user is what? Principal or secureable?
Principal.
Principal. User is
Principal.
trying to access the objects like tables and all. Okay, as user is trying to access the object, user is a principal. Okay, guys, is it clear? Principal and secureable. Principal means simply who is accessing. Okay, which resource he is accessing. Okay, is called a secureable. Which resource? Resources usually securables. The persons who is accessing or who is trying to access is called principals, guys. Okay, right? Srinivas, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, done. Okay, let me start the VM. So in the last class we discussed about how to create a Windows login. So guys, tell me briefly how we can create a Windows login. Can anyone tell me how can we create a Windows login?
First we go to user groups
Okay,
and create
Here,
what is the
and
shortcut?
create your
What
group.
is the shortcut to open users and groups?
Go to run
Hmm.
LUSR
Okay,
manager.ms
okay, okay. Right. Then,
Then go to user and groups
hmm.
and create one user.
Okay. Next.
After that, we go to SSMS,
Okay.
the open username and password. Type it.
Okay. Next. Where I have to type username and password.
in create, we have to create a login
Okay.
with Windows.
Okay. Very good. What login I have to create?
In SSMS.
In SSMS. Which login I have to create? Windows or SQL login?
Windows authentication.
Windows authentication.
Right. Windows
We
authentication I
have
have
to
to
select
choose.
the particular
User, whatever we have created
user.
in the Windows level, we have to select the user and we have to type the user and check names. Then you will get a username. If the username is existent, if you give the correct name, you will get a results and you can click OK and then you can give access. Can anyone help me to create the group logins step by step from the beginning? Group login.
First, we have to create a group up to 3 users in
Okay.
Windows.
Okay.
Then we have to add those users in group.
Very good. Which group I have to add?
In Windows first. We have to add.
In Windows. Windows.
We have to name the group
Okay.
first.
Okay.
After that, we'll add the existing users
Okay.
in the group.
Okay. Next. Yes. Please continue. Next. What I have to do? I just created a group now. Group is ready now. Next. Next, what I have to do, guys?
Anything applying in SSMS also.
Okay. Okay. How many of you created group logins till now? Yesterday we discussed, right? How many of you created group logins? Please raise your hands, guys. You have no JS created. Okay, just a minute. Let me draw it properly. Okay. This is group login. Okay, 2 persons are there, right? Group login. Just keeping it here. Okay, now is this app diagram, guys? Is it suits to our discussion, whatever we discussed yesterday? Can we create group logins for SQL authentication? Yesterday I told you whether it is possible or not, but again I'll tell you, Raju, it's not possible. Okay, group login concept is there only for the Windows logins. Okay, there is no group login concept for SQL login. Okay, so usually in the organization, how we are going to manage the security? 90% is we don't encourage individual logins, guys. Okay, 99 percentage depends upon the organization to organization again. Okay, some organizations will encourage, some organizations won't encourage. Okay, that is not a standard policy, first of all. Okay, that is not a standard policy, so depends upon the particular what we can say organization standard policies. So some people won't bother about the logins. Okay, they will create individual logins. How many people are asking the access for each and every person, they will create each login. So if 200 people are accessing the are requesting the access, they will create logins for 200 people. If 300 people, 500 people, 1000 people, guys, doesn't looks good when you expand the security. Imagine if 500 logins are there, it doesn't looks good, guys. Okay, so usually people don't prefer that kind of setup. Okay, so what we are going to do in the organization, we usually prefer only group logins. If anyone comes to us, hey, can you please give me access on this database? That's okay. Yeah, we'll give access to you. But do one thing, go to Windows team first. Ask them to create a Windows group for you. Why? Because today he is the one person. Might be tomorrow some other colleagues can add to this group, right? So only for one people, one person, why I have to create the group and all? That's okay. But that is our policy. Even one or two or three, anything, number doesn't matter. Okay. Even the one person is there, one person is seeking for access. Instead of creating a individual login, will ask that user, hey, please go to the Windows team. Ask them to create a group for your login. Whatever your team name, with the help of your team name, ask them to create a group. Today he is the one person. Tomorrow might be another person will come and ask the same permissions. Imagine they are asking 20 permissions. Tomorrow if another person came and if they ask 20 permissions, again I have to create a login for him. I have to give 20 permissions for him. If a third day third person comes to us, and if they are asking another permission or same set of permissions, again I have to create third login. I have to give same 20 permissions to him. Every day that is a headache. If anyone comes to us and give me the same permissions of his colleague, again we have to check what permissions he is having, and based on that we have to give permissions. Same, it's a headache, time taking process. Every time we are going to waste our time. Simply if you create a group, we'll give access whatever permissions, that 20 permissions will give it to the group. So tomorrow if anyone comes to us, okay, hey, can you please give access to me the same permissions as my colleague? Then what we'll say, nothing we are doing. We'll simply ask that user, hey, please go to the Windows team, ask them to add into this group, particular group, ABC group. Once they have added that person into the ABC group, whatever permissions this group is having, all the permissions, if any new person is added to the group, he will enjoy all the permissions. He can get all the permissions immediately. If I remove this person from this group, he's nothing. He doesn't have any permissions. Imagine this group is having read, write, execute, something permissions are there on a database. Okay, so if I added any new person to this group, okay, then automatically he will also get all the permissions. All the group permissions will be implemented. All the group policies will be implemented in the newly added login, guys. So here, if anyone in the future, if anyone comes to us, hey, can you please give me access? This person, already 4 people, this is a new person. Okay, imagine this is an application team. Already four people are there in this team. He joined newly in the organization. He belongs to this group, and he just comes to us, DBA. Hey DBA, can you please give me access to this particular database, Flipkart sales? Then we'll ask what kind of permissions you need. They will reply, I don't know the permissions usually. Please replicate the permissions of this guy, of my colleague. He's already member of this group. He will tell the group name, this person. Okay, chalo. What we are going to do? Nothing we can do. Why? Because we cannot add this person into the group. We'll simply ask this person, hey, please go to the Windows team. They are going to add you into the existing group so that automatically you will get the permission. No need of DBA interfere here. No need to interfere the DBA. Simply will route him. Go to the Windows team. They will add you into this group. Tell them the group name. They will add you into the group. Once you are added into the group, whatever your colleagues are having, what permissions, what privileges they are having, same permissions you will also get. Okay, so this is how we are going to manage. We don't manage individual logins, guys, in the organization. That group either you can create in the Windows server like this, that group you can create in the active directory like this. That's why I draw the diagram like this, guys. Usually we don't create, I told you, right, just to explain the things, I just created user in the Windows level. We have already discussed what are the challenges if you create individual users in the individual machines. What are the challenges, guys? What challenges if we create like this? What is the main challenge, guys? Yesterday we discussed. What is the main challenge? It seems you are following my classes. What is the challenge, guys, if I create individual user in the individual machine? What is the challenge? No one can answer out of 22.
For each database, we have to create
Each database, no. Why? If I create one user, I have to create one database or what? For one user, one database we have to create. That's what we discussed. No, that is not correct answer.
Login related.
Login related means what kind of login related? What kind of login related?
Windows one user. We have one login. One Windows login or SQL login.
Every time we have to provide access, Jayesh. Okay. Next, what is the main challenge first of all? I don't think you people are following the classes, guys. I'm so sorry, but was very upset with you guys. Not even a single person is answering properly. Guys, like, is that okay? Am I going to explain clearly or you are unable to understand what I'm teaching? Tell me, guys, if I want to change from my side, I'm going to change it. Why? Because last batch, excellent. They are going to answer. At least 40 people are there in the last batch. At least 3-4 people are going to respond. Cannot read and write. How can you say Vinod cannot read and write? Forget about the permissions. I am not asking about the permissions. Cannot read and write. Why he cannot read and write? If I create user like this, if I give access, he can read and write. Did we discuss it like that? If we create Windows user in the Windows level, if we create a login for him, he cannot read and write. Can read or he can write depends upon his permissions. Okay, that is not the answer. Only challenge is if for one user, okay, if you are trying to create individual users in the individual servers, if you have 100 servers for one person, you have to create him 100 times. If 1000 servers are there, 1000 times I have to create. If 10 people are there, 20 people are there in the DBA team, 20 people I have to create in 1000 servers, 20,000 users I have to create. Remember? Did we discuss this point yesterday, guys?
Yes.
Yes,
Now
sir.
tell me, what is the challenge if I create user in the individual machine?
Security issue.
Security next.
Active directory, sir.
Forget about Active Directory as of now. What is the challenge if I create a user in the individual machine, a single user or individual user in the individual machine? What is the challenge? Just now we discussed it, right? Tell me the same challenge, at least you will remember. What is the challenge? What is the challenge, guys? Just now we discussed what we discussed just now. Tell me at least what I discussed just now. Tell me.
We have 100 servers.
Hmm.
We have to create challenges. 100
You-
servers. Yes.
We have to if we have 100 servers. Next, continue. Please continue. If we have 100 servers, next.
Challenging
We have to
create
create 100 logins for users.
Yes. Okay. If we have 100 servers, 100 logins, we have to create in 100 servers. One person, for only one person, like this is one server. If this kind of setup, like we have 100 servers, this person, this Vinod, I have to create in 100 machines. 100 times I have to create Vinod. Like that, you're all imagine 22 people are there in this batch. I decided to give access to all 22 people. I have only one machine. Imagine like this. I have decided to give access to all 22 people. So now tell me which one is best option. Instead of creating all 22 users, I have 100 servers like this. I have 100 servers like this. I want to give access to all 100 servers to all of you. Okay. So if there is no group login concept, each machine I have to create a 22 users like this. 100 machines, 100 into 22, 2200 users I have to create. 2200 users. Is this point clear, everyone? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Is this
Yes,
point
sir.
clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So instead of that, I'll create a group for all of you, like batch 43 group I'll create. I'll include all 22 people in this group. Okay, either I can create this group in the Windows machine or I can create this group in the Active Directory. Anywhere I can create, but I don't create in the Windows machine. Why? Because again, the same lengthy process. I don't encourage that lengthy process. That is not the standard way. So what we are going to do, we'll create a group, whole group in the Active Directory with the 22 people. So if you create the group in the Active Directory, all the 100 machines will be associated with the Active Directory. So once you create the group with 22 people, next time directly you can go to the SQL server, right click new login, you can give the group name and you can create the group login for this 100 for this 22 people in 100 servers. No need to create again group in the Windows machine. Directly you can do that in the Active Directory. If you try to create in the Windows machine, you can create, but the challenge is again if another server came, again you have to create new group in that server, new users, new 22 users, and you have to add all 22 users into the group, and again you have to do the same lengthy process. So that's why I don't encourage this lengthy process. Okay. So in the organization, your security, okay, relies in Active Directory only. Through Active Directory only any user can log into any machine. So that is the main challenge. That's why we don't encourage creating users in the, okay, individual machines. Guys, if you are too supportive, I'll try to, okay, give more information. If you are not supportive, if you are not answering whatever, okay, is sufficient for you. If I feel that okay, this point is waste, these people don't remember, if I feel like that, I may not get encouraged. Okay, I may not get interest to share all the things. If you are more supportive, I'll share extra points. Okay, I'll get the interest and I'll share extra point. If you are not supportive, if you are not answering, if you are not replying, if you are not responding, whatever things are there related to the topic, I'll try to cover those things. Okay, so let's reconnect, guys. It is showing 1 minute. Please reconnect again with the same link.